Everything OT elevate. It's the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG. That's me mimicking someone that's mimicking Olamide. Talking about Tokumbo Jakunle, aka
Daddy you.
Daddy
No.
Yo.
Okay, he's Daddy you.
It's
He's
Daddy
Daddy
Yo.
you.
This is the other one that's Bob Daddy. I know it's the other one we're talking about. Your me, Cuckoo.
Yeah.
And of course, this is the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG, reaching you from the very, 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 very traffic plagued Lagos.
The traffic is better now.
Mm-hmm. Go and check the express.
It is. But it wasn't like it was before, like earlier.
You could say that because you're sitting here with air condition and all of that.
Yeah, because I'm not going anywhere. Where you live around where you work. I don't.
I am speaking on behalf of the people who are going somewhere, who are worried.
This is my boom down. There's nothing.
Please
I'm
take us
looking
with
for
you.
outside.
Download our app at the Play Store, our Android app. Take us with you. Listen to us on your browsers, on your Opera, and which other browsers are there? Google Chrome, and the Safari, and which one? Firefox. Those are the
Internet Explorer.
Oh my God! How could Internet Explorer? What's up with
See,
Internet?
you know, I
What's the Microsoft browser called again?
Internet Explorer.
That's the Microsoft default browser, right?
Yeah, I think they changed the name, but I think it's Internet Explorer. Yeah, Microsoft Edge now. It's not Microsoft Edge.
Is that the one that was
It's Internet Explorer. And the truth is, as much as everybody had wanted to look down on it, but
ever reliable?
it is all your so-called browsers. It is still on Internet Explorer. You first have to download another one before you can use another one. So at the end of the day,
That was for people who were using the Windows like you people. Those of us who use the Mac, we just never heard. What's an Internet Explorer again?
I'm not even going to say anything to you.
Yes,
I
let's
just
not
don't
even
have
start
anything to say to
the
you.
Windows versus Apple wars anymore. It's the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG. We're sitting back here. We're going to be taking you through a couple of things happening in and around us. And in Haiti, the president has been killed by unknown gunmen. Unknown men.
Anyway, anytime, I don't know, not putting anything from, removing anything from this. Is it
Yeah.
just me, but that anytime anybody says it or I hear unknown gunmen, the only
The
thing
other one yeah.
just comes to my head.
And you know, the guy who actually made that call was serious. He wasn't. He was actually trying to give someone the heads up.
Like heads
you know.
up, but like
But
unknown men.
English was the problem.
English
But-
cannot be. Is not our mother tongue.
So we can make mistakes and move on from it. So why are we always hounding?
Even though
Aboki and his
even though I'm of the opinion that just don't speak the English at all.
So Aboki should not speak English at all.
It's either you should speak English or you speak it properly. One of the two.
All right. Anyhow, this is how we roll right here on your Boom Radio NG. We will be taking.
There's
you
a lot of
through
news,
a lot of stuff
coming from the House of
court.
Assembly.
The courts have been busy too. You know, things are happening.
There's a lot of news coming from
Pronouncements
it.
have been made.
Yeah, pronouncements. A lot of things that we spoke about. Maybe I think from the House of Assembly we should talk about just that happened yesterday that probably couldn't talk about at the Bomba. That happened later on.
Yeah.
That we could actually start from that. There was news talking. Then there's also news about the budget. There's news about the supplementary budget. There's also news from them about the loan, the approval of the loan. There's news. There's a lot of there's defection again today. Back and forth. There is also news from the court throwing out a case of a senator, a particular senator. So yeah, the National House of Assembly is actually has been very, very, very busy. And also, there's a lot of stories. There's an update of the pupils that were kidnapped.
There's an update on your phone too.
Oh, cash lady scam. Do not call me again. Thank you very much. God will bless you. Moving on.
We need to talk about that.
We do. I think we do.
We need to talk about that, and I don't know if anybody else has experienced this. Funny enough, I haven't experienced this, but
I do a lot. Apparently,
there's something that's been going on. So a lot of companies have emerged. I think they are like credit facilitators. I don't know what to call them, but they're offering people soft loans and all of that, and they're giving out these loans, 5k, 10k, 20k naira
with
loans,
no
and
collateral,
all of that, with no collaterals. What they do is they copy your database, they copy your contact list.
I even get these messages of them asking, literally sending me a message and asking that if I want to borrow money. I'm like, I'm not borrowing money. Is it by force to borrow money?
Maybe someone on your contact list has borrowed money and say, oh.
I'm like, okay, I get a lot of this message like, borrow this. I'm not borrowing money. Is it by force?
So I don't get that. What has been happening is that
I think it's just lack of for me, I think that our issue of database, I think that it boils down to our service providers. I don't think they understand the idea of privacy, because if not, a part of me feels that these people actually give out this data.
I don't think the service providers will give out your data. They can't.
Okay, well, how do
they don't have access? They don't have access to the data on your phone.
So how do you go from even banks do it? A bank that you don't even have an account in, or you don't have any data,
we know,
and then they tell you that they are calling you to advertise something, and you're wondering, how do you even have my phone number?
Data mining is something. A lot of people have softwares that can take information from people they know.
Is that possible?
Yeah, there are people doing it.
But is it
illegally.
right?
Some people, again, when you go to public places and you fill registers and you put your phone number down and your name, some people sell that information. There was a time when SMS marketing was a thing in this country. People would send bulk SMSs.
Yeah,
they will tell you that if you don't even have a number, or the number that you want to send to that they have, because what they do is they keep storing people's information, they keep buying it off people. People sell them. People sell people's numbers and contacts and stuff. They do it. There's a time they're making a lot of money from it. Yeah, but no internet or phone service provider has access to your contacts on your mobile device. They don't. Again, the people who go borrow this money, I wish we could talk to one or two of them. What kind of information do you give them? I think it's part of the collateral. You give them your contact list or something, because that's what they use. Yeah, because how are they able to say someone on your contact list has given us your number? Because initially what they used to do was to lie to people and say you're the person's guarantor. Mm-hmm. And that the person has borrowed money and the person has refused to pay.
Yeah.
So you start to feel important, like, oh, someone made me a guarantor for Bese.
I ain't feeling important with that.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Don't take it literally. So, anyhow, so that starts and someone starts to call you, and they know that most Nigerians, they're law-abiding people. Again, nobody likes owing anybody money. So this time you start hearing that someone is owing money, they use you to get to the person or to get the money, especially when the person has stopped picking their calls or has blocked them off or whatever. You get. There's a case recently, someone who was a vendor to someone. I think they had just gone to do some work with the person. They start to call the other man who doesn't even know this guy that well, and the guy tells them, don't ever call my number again, and they stop. You get. But the other people that they harass, people are afraid, they're timid. So when they tell you, oh, someone is owing you, you start to panic. I don't know about it. Oh, they tell you if you don't, they're going to publish. Then again, I think they take the people's social media too, because they say they're going to publish your stuff on social media. They're going to tag you, So a lot of that is happening, and I think Nigerians need to fight back. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying people should borrow money and not pay back, or borrow money that they don't
think
plan
that's
to
even
pay.
where that it starts from. I
That's
think
what
a
I'm
lot of
saying.
people are actually also borrowing these monies and not paying back.
Yeah. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying borrow money that you can't pay back. Oh, I'm saying that if you're gonna be borrowing money, live within your means. And if you're borrowing money, don't borrow money for fun. Hopefully, something that you can invest. I don't know how much you need to do business, but
No, let's be honest.
when you invest
They
and it
tell
goes
you
well,
that
you can pay back.
you don't borrow money for things that
You
is not going to.
shouldn't.
You shouldn't borrow money for something that is not going to yield.
You shouldn't.
E.g., you shouldn't borrow money for a party.
Yeah.
In fact, you can borrow money to buy a house or buy land, which you know that after a while it will appreciate. I don't think you should borrow money to buy a car.
You shouldn't, because
Once you're buying things that is diminishing.
Except you're using the car for business.
Oh yeah, no.
Then again,
at that point,
you spoke generally, so I'm just trying to say that there's a loophole somewhere. Except you're using it for business, or you have a guaranteed income, so you want to spread the payment of the car, which is also a good thing. But you don't go buying.
You don't have plans of how to return the money. Like
a wise man was
basically how to return the money. You don't have a plan.
You cannot buy it twice.
You can't afford it. You can't afford it. And even if you can't afford it and you go borrowing, which it happens, even the world, everybody borrows money. The truth is that if you don't have a plan of how you can pay it back, it does not make any sense at the end of the day. And moving on from that was how we just started the gist on.
It's the bar. That's what we do.
Another thing that is really that was very annoying that I saw yesterday, this morning, was that a GoFundMe account emerged that somebody had put up for the legal fees, basically asking for donation for legal fees for the Baba Ijesha entity. Because I'm trying, where you're trying to rein it in.
Well, this is what it is. For those of you who are just joining us, you're listening to the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Shola Rogers and this is Dolupo. And the story we're about to delve into is a very, very vexatious story.
Very vexatious, actually.
So, there's a actor who is in court, for child molestation and other related offenses. And there's been a lot of back and forth. His stage name is Baba Ijesha, so there's no need for people to know his real name. It's only when they get to court that they'll call his government name, like people say.
Really? Why do you call it government name?
No, is it not your government name? Is that not the name that is on your passport and your driver's license and any other transaction, like you are borrowing money? Would they borrow Bambino money?
Wow.
So, this guy, Baba Ijesha, has been back and forth and all of that. Now, some people, his fans and loved ones, have decided to open a GoFundMe account so that they can
why can't they pull their resources by themselves?
It's themselves so that they're asking.
You just open a bank account for him.
Will you ever put a brass padding in that account?
That's what I'm saying is, that there are some people that out of not knowing the whole story would actually pay money into that account. So if it is just people that know themselves, pull that account, put it in somebody's account, or you push open colo and do it and not make it public.
Exactly, but what you don't get, because you're just basically being too angry, auntie, is that
it's annoying me.
They have opened the GoFundMe for people like them, his fans and his loved ones, so that they can look. Do you think it's easy to bring 19 lawyers to court? 2 of them were senior advocates of Nigeria, according to the stories that we heard. So as it stands now, if you're a fan of Baba Ijesha, they're looking for you on GoFundMe. those of us who are not fans, and we're not going to hide it.
Is there a way to shut down those accounts?
There might be. If you go and read
I should actually check.
There might be a way to.
If it's shut down, if it's shut down, I'm the one that did it. Just putting out there.
But you know the way things are now with all these online platforms. They have clauses. They have rules. So, for instance, would a terrorist go online to raise money through GoFundMe? He can't. And if he does, they will shut him. They will. Yeah. So there will be a way for people to complain and say, "Oh, for this reason and this reason, this person is breaching your rule."
Yeah.
You get. Like for me, I don't waste time when I see something offensive on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. I don't waste time. Instead of arguing, I report
God
the
knows
post
the amount
or
of
the page.
times that I have.
Then I block you.
I'm sure that I have more blocked people on Twitter, especially, than followers. I am very sure. The amount of people that I block on a daily basis, I do not waste time. You're not even following me, or I'm not following you. I just see your nonsense on my timeline. Nope.
Let me tell you.
Receive blocking.
Like for instance, this Yomi Fabi guy, this actor guy who is using this Bye Jesha's predicament to better his own career. When he put out one offensive post about 2 days ago, as a journalist, it's my job to go through those things and read. But as a person, you know what I was doing? All those posts, the people who were dropping,
receive blocking.
I was just helping them. It's called preemptive blocking.
Just in case.
I need to teach a class on this thing. Look.
Oh God.
You might be in that small room in Lekki, or you might be in that mansion at Ajegunle. But wherever you are on the face of the earth, you're connected on the internet via these apps.
Yeah.
Especially Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Now there's Twitch and a couple of others, but these three are still the majors. Yeah? What it is that in your room, would you allow someone attack you? In your office, you pay that rent, or you own the house, you bought it, or you inherited it. Either way, it's yours. It's your space. Even at that moment, even if you don't own it, at that moment where you are, it's yours.
It's yours, yeah.
Okay, you're in the loo. Excuse me, but I'm not going to get gory. Would you allow someone just open the door on you? No, you won't. So it's the same way you must protect your space on social media. And the only way you can sanitize your timeline is to keep negative thoughts and negative people at bay. Now, I keep some of them just to observe how dumb they are and their line of thoughts, and how to just observe and how not to think and express myself. But a lot of them, even before they became a problem to the society, people like us, we block them. There's a former presidential aide who worked with President Goodluck Jonathan. The guy is always on social media teaching people how to live, telling them about relationships, and there are allegations of this guy having two families at the same time, and he hasn't even come out to deny it. And that's the same guy you want me to listen to, and some people call him a pastor, you know. So for me, I blocked that guy even before he became anything. Now he might say, "Who am I?" He doesn't know me. I'm inconsequential. In your world, fine. In my world, you are too. So 2 times 2 is 22. Finish.
Okay.
Blocked.
You are blocked. Finally. So basically, we're talking about. So I think that moving from that, it's annoying, but I think we should just move from that.
Yeah, we should.
As there's actually a lot of talk from the courts today. A whole lot of stories from the courts. As first things first, something that is also very annoying, and this is a judgment that came today, as the court has cleared ex-finance minister Adeosun of NYSC certificate controversy. Basically, they're saying the Federal High Court in Abuja has said that she was ineligible to participate in the scheme in the first place when she graduated at 22, because as at then, she was a British citizen. According to the ruling, she was not supposed to present herself for the service as at the time of graduation, because under the 1979 Constitution, which was in force as at that time she was not a Nigerian citizen, either at her graduation or when she turned 30. The court further held that the Constitution does not require her to present a first-degree certificate or any other one, including NYSC certificate, to be appointed a minister.
So, who took the case to court?
I'm sure she probably went to court. And now, basically, the judge was basically saying that
she's coming back.
The ministerial appointment was not unconstitutional or illegal, even without presenting an NYSC certificate at all.
Okay, so this is what it is. There's so many things that we need to discuss about this, yeah? Growing up, they told us that we don't have NYSC, we will not see government work. I'm sure everybody in Nigeria heard that.
Yeah, we did. We all did.
Now, the court is telling us, it's only for some people, not for everybody. Abi? That's a bad sign.
It's not even just for some people. Okay. Because let's be honest. Okay, they tell you that to become a House of Assembly member, you need SSC. If that is all you have, and that's all you present.
That's all you present.
That's all you present. You have to go to university to have NYSC now. So, I think that we just mix and match these things.
No. I get what you're saying, but someone lied to me. Who it was, I don't know. But I know someone lied to me, and they lied to people from my generation and the generation after mine. And this is what they said. If you don't have NYSC, you will not see government work. And government work is either by appointment or by election. You are not allowed to contest. You can't do any of these things. That's why a lot of people who at school abroad will come home for the NYSC program. A lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do.
Even there's a picture of
I think that for government work, especially for a certain level, yes, it is needed.
So that's where I'm going. That now we're hearing that you really don't need it if you want to be a minister.
That's what the court is saying.
So if that's the case, some people don't have to do NYSC. Except they'll not come and tell us, oh, it's compulsory if you are born in Nigeria and you were in Nigeria at the time. Because the law, they say, is and it doesn't care about anybody. The law is the law. However, on the side of Kemi Adeosun, I feel for her. I wish that the government that employed her knew better. I wish that they had stood their grounds then to say, constitutionally, she hasn't committed any crime. However, I think that she should talk more now and say, look, this is what really transpired. We've heard stories from people who claim to know.
I also think
just for her to even clear her name further. I
feel that number one, she didn't know. Meaning that, there was an issue. The issue was
ignorance is not.
Yeah, the issue was that she has a certificate that was not valid. I know that was what started the issue. Which
NYSC certificate.
Yes, the NYSC certificate was not authentic, which would have been a reason why. Because now is what the court is saying was that she didn't even need to ask for one in the first place. So now the minute she asked for one and you present one, which she did, they're saying that the story is that it wasn't authentic, which I don't think that it was wrong for her, for the people that agitated for her to resign. It was wrong. I don't think it was, because if you don't have, you don't have. Take case in point, the former Minister of Communication, he did not have, and nothing happened. He actually finished his tenure. Now, looking back at this case, the man was right. He didn't need one. But the minute, okay, it's like you're going to apply for a job now, and they say, what do you have? And you say it's BSc you have, and that's what you tender. Somebody else comes up and says, I have BSc and MSc. You tender those two things. Then they find out that the MSc certificate you tendered by yourself was a fake. Did you need to tender the MSc? Maybe not. But it was a fake. The minute you tendered it, then there's a problem. I think that's where the issue comes from.
And again, having said that, my issue goes back to the government that employed her. Again, I repeat, if the law says, like the court has said today, that it wasn't necessary in the first place, the people who employed her should have stood their ground. That's what I'm saying. That, look, whatever noise you people are making, even by law, she didn't even have to present it.
Okay.
There's no need for it.
But
so
why?
For that reason,
but the fact that
her.
she presented it is my own issue.
That's what I'm saying.
The minute you presented it, there was probably a problem with it.
The same people who brought her in, I'm sure she didn't even get that in to get the federal appointment. She was first appointed as a commissioner in Ogun State.
Yeah.
Under I think that was Governor Ibikule Amusu, before she was upgraded to the federal. Yeah. So, as at that time, that's what I'm saying, that the people who brought her in, maybe it was the governor and his team, or President Buhari, whoever, they should know that ministers don't require
They don't require it, but the fact that you presented it.
Then she wouldn't have presented anything in
that,
the first
that
place.
you cannot say. They might not have mandated her. She might have been the one. We cannot say 100%. That's what I'm saying, because looking at it from an angle of, in the same administration or the same tenure, there was another minister that did not even present one at all. And everybody just made noise, but nothing happened to him.
Okay.
Do you understand my point? So she might not have been mandated. She might have been the one that felt that she needed to drop the certificate. You can have PhD and you're going maybe for a local government chairman, and all you drop is SSC. It is what you drop that everybody has a business with. The minute you drop that certificate, then it is assumed that it is yours. So it is, you've dropped it and you put it under scrutiny. You already put yourself under scrutiny. The minute you dropped it, that's what I'm saying. The minute you dropped it, then it changed the whole ball game entirely. That's it for me. Like, the fact that there was, in the same administration, the same tenure, there was another minister that didn't even drop anything at all. In fact, even though I remember his excuse then, I felt that because he had served in the State House of Assembly, he felt that was his way he was serving. We know that now. We know that that is then also. We also know that it was a flimsy excuse. But according to the law now, the law is even telling us that you don't even need it. And that's the truth.
And that's the point that I'm still making, that if the people who are in charge had put things in place, like you want to go for your international passport, for instance, and you already know the list of items that you're supposed to present, you will go there with that list expecting to get the passport. Same thing with the visa. If you're going for maybe the US visa, there's a list. They give you a list. They tell you these are the items. They even tell you don't bring load. Just look at these items and bring them. Now, it's basically a case of you
went to bear.
You now packed.
You packed everything. Yeah. So it's.
That's what I'm saying.
I also think that it's not the fault of the government.
Well, let me make this point. So you went there and you packed stuff.
And implicated yourself.
No, it's not even about implication. The visa officer, they won't even let you in. They won't even let you bring anything. They'll say, no. We don't need this. We don't want this. Keep it. That's what I am saying.
But what if
if the government people who brought her in knew what they were doing, they would have told her, no, you don't even need NYSC.
But okay, are you saying that everybody that went in for as a minister did not drop their NYSC or shouldn't have?
I am saying that
I don't think that is in the purview of anybody that you bring whatever you
No.
Okay, you're applying for a job. You're applying for a job, yeah? And they said the minimum is BSc and you have MSc and PhD. and you take it along. Is it their fault that you brought it?
Is it their fault that you brought it? No. Is it their fault that you brought it? No. It is not the same scenario. If they were to hunt this person, the job of a minister, how many times have you seen people apply to be minister? Because your example does not work in this scenario. How many times have you seen people write application for the post of minister?
Even if you are
wait.
Okay.
You brought up a scenario that doesn't work to prove a point that doesn't work. You don't apply to be minister. Mm-hmm. You are head-hunted. Mm-hmm. People bring you maybe from the party or from your father's affiliations or your mother's links or lineage or whatever, or your husband's connection or whatever. Bottom line is, they should have done
your expertise.
Your expertise is, by the way, they should have done their due diligence.
Okay.
And they know. And I'm saying that it's just like, I've seen a lot of people like this. You go to people at the like driver's license point or any of these government documents that you want to get or identity cards. When you get there and you go with it, some people will go through your file and remove things and say, you don't need this, you don't. I have seen it, it's happened.
Yes.
I'm saying again.
What are you saying?
I am saying, Dolupo, that if the people who brought her in, because they know they needed her and the so-called expertise that you talked about, they knew that it was a banana peel in this country, that a lot of people have been charged with forgery and perjury and all of that. And
how do they know that it was a forged thing? How do they know it was not?
No. Wait.
Was she the only person that brought in an NYSC certificate?
Just wait. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She went to school abroad.
Yeah.
Never schooled in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Never served in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Then you bring her in. You give her federal appointment. Yeah. You did not vet anything that she brought. What is the essence of the DSS and police screening that they go through? What is the essence of all of those investigations?
I get that point, that the fact that you should have realized before she was brought in the first place that her certificate was forged.
You will know. You must know. So at that point, you're saying that, everybody was sleeping. Everybody was sleeping and they didn't do their job. So what's this screening that they do? Forget the Senate. People always blame the Senate that they don't have the facility to investigate.
Is the reports that they give them.
What was the report that they came up with on Kemi Adeosun to say, look, she went to school in the UK, she didn't serve, she just got a reprieve from the NYSC. We have a copy of it. We have vetted it and it is fake. Don't tell me you want your government to be embarrassed every time. You don't tell me you want to bring in people that are going to bring you down. Nobody is a saint. Nobody only pass. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you're going to be in government and you're going to be in charge, you make sure that everybody you present will pass that litmus test. So in the first place, when you now realize that this is an extra body, you don't even take it at all. Like, don't worry, we don't need your NYSC certificate. You don't even need it by law.
And I also think that it is time that a lot of people.
Do you know how many people who go into politics and they don't even present their MSCs? They don't even present school certs. Yes.
Meanwhile, they have it. They do. And you know, the funny thing is that what I have come to realize is that a lot of people, I think it still boils down on education. Up until today, I didn't know that you did not need an NY certificate to be a minister. Which now, I was probably part of. I think at a point, I probably even what's that English now? I probably even knocked the former minister of communication then for not having an NYSC certificate.
That's why I said they lied to us.
Now there is actually no need. There is no need.
Which is a bad sign for the NYSC actually.
No, we know that at least the reason why a lot of us go for NYSC is that most jobs, don't let me say all, most jobs you need to present an NYSC certificate for you to get it. Even private sector. Public sector is mandatory. Public sector, most public sectors, especially in a corporate office, you actually need it. So it's the idea of getting a job. That's the reason why people go for NYSC.
I don't know how old Kemi Adeosun is. I don't know. She's probably in her 40s, or 50s.
Yeah.
take someone who was born same day, same time as Kemi Adeosun, who spent her own entire life in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
She won't get that job without NYSC. That's what they're telling us. That because she didn't school in Nigeria as at that time, she wasn't even a Nigerian citizen. So you that you're a Nigerian citizen that schooled in Nigeria, you must have. That's what they're telling us.
According to this thing, I don't know. I'm not sure I totally agree.
No, read it.
Because what the judge actually said was that according to the constitution that was in use as at that time.
As at what time?
As at 1979.
Yeah.
That as at that time, there was no. As at the time the constitution then did not mandate. I think the 1999 constitution now mandates you to do some certain things, which that constitution did not.
Okay.
So what they're saying is that as at that time, there was no need for her to do it then.
Okay. As at what time? When did she go to school? When did she graduate?
That was not in the report.
What I have deduced from this is the typical animal farm. You know, some animals, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal. Because we need to read that judgment again and get a proper hang of it. All my life, I've been told that without the NYSC, I can't do anything. You can't do this, you can't do that. You will not. Look, those were the stories they told us. I'm not making it up.
No, I agree. But the thing, what I'm still going back to is the fact that they're all stories. Most of these stories, looking back now, are really not true. A lot of them, I feel that a lot of them were just to encourage, more like scare people into people doing NYSC. Not because it was more of an ignorance thing. Not because the law was wrong. The law is the law. It has always been there. We just didn't know. It was ignorance, which is not nobody's fault.
Ignorance is what I'm saying the government is. That's my point.
I agree with you. I'm also saying that even on the part of everybody, like for example, the one that you said that all your life you have been told this and this and this, it is ignorance. Because they told you, and because you told that line does not mean it's true.
Exactly. So back to what I'm saying. Some animals are equal and some
we also my own is that it is time that we really need to find out. Take for example, I remember when I was in secondary school, and I think I got to SS2, and honestly there were just a lot of subjects I didn't like. Greek, Yoruba, a lot of just I felt that were completely unnecessary. Yeah, so I picked up my older sister's JAM curriculum, which they give them when you write and I read it. I actually read it. I read the Y curriculum, and I found out that contrary to the 8-9 subjects that they mandate you to do, you are only mandated to write 5 subjects and I think 1 elective one. Bottom line, between 5 and 6 subjects to write for WAEC. And I went to and I realized that they tell you that you're supposed to do 1 Nigerian language, you're supposed to, apparently you don't need to. And I went to my counselor and I told him that this and this and this, between Greek, I think TD then and food and nutrition, they tell you have to do 1. Apparently you don't have to do any. They tell you between government and physics you have to do 1. Apparently you don't have to do any. They tell you if you're an art student you have to do 1 science subject. Apparently you don't have to do all that. So I armed myself because I had already known and I knew the book, so I carried it with me and I went to our counselor. They said he's your guidance counselor. So I went there and I told him that, excuse me sir, I'm dropping Yoruba, I'm dropping Greek. Those 2 subjects I was just done. And he looked at me and he said, why? That what will happen in WAEC? And I opened the pages. I said, excuse me sir, this and this and this and this, I do not need these subjects. And the man calmed down. Apparently the man knew. And you know what the man told me? The man begged me and said, okay, that he will allow me, but when I get to SS3, that I should please, that if I drop Yoruba now, and my classmates realize that they can actually drop this subject, a lot of people will not do it anymore. In fact, that most people will not do it. And I'm like, okay, so what did that tell me? It was that they literally just brought up those so-called rules to put us in a box. But at a point, I went to meet him because I knew for a fact, not because someone told me, because I was sure. And even at that point, the man knew that I knew, which he knew, and he held that information of only God knows how many generations of students they are lied those kind of lies to anyway. And that's the problem that I see with a lot of people. I think most people, we never really find out what exactly does the law say about this thing. So whatever anybody throws at you, we tend to cower because we don't know. Ignorance is what is killing a lot of us, that is depriving a lot of people from getting the things that they're supposed to get.
Anyways, I think we've done a lot on Kenya. Probably this
wow.
is about Kenya addition today.
Yeah, so I think we just move on. Let's just
change the tag.
Let's just move on quickly. There's a lot of court case. There's also the court case.
Anyways, before we move on, when I started seeing her name last month, she started one program, a project to lift a lot of people out of poverty.
Yeah, and then the vice president went to open
the vice president was there, and now she's been cleared. Don't be surprised if she comes back as a minister. There's nothing anybody can do about it anymore. And sadly, for her, a lot of people would have gone to the grave and whatever, thinking she was someone who had done something wrong. Now the court has cleared her, so I'm happy that she has a second bite at the cherry, and maybe she'll use this opportunity to bring that expertise that we've been hearing about to bear on moving Nigeria forward.
All right, so the court has ordered Governor Ganduje to pay 800,000 naira in for as cost for expenses to Jafar, a publisher, and his company, Daily Nigerian, who are the respondents to his 3 billion naira defamation suit. Basically, he actually sued them after these people had brought out the video showing him stuffing dollars.
I thought you were going to say rolling dollars.
Please, I don't know. Anyway, now he had sued them in November 2018, but that he had now come out to had said that he was just withdrawing the case, but the defendant had come back to put a suit and basically, okay, let me read it exactly what it is. That the second respondent argued that the hearing of the application seeking to discontinue the suit by the plaintiff was not ripe and urged the court to strike out the application. So basically, the governor's team wanted to strike out the case, like they're not interested in the case anymore. But then defendant came and said that they have spent a lot of money back and forth and all that. So basically, they got compensated for being dragged into this.
But 800,000 is small now.
I think so too.
Dear judge or justice, can you up the money?
Like 800,000 to a governor.
But think
about
Are you
it
serious? Is that his decision to pull out of the case that he initiated as the governor of Kano doesn't speak well for him.
It doesn't.
Because most of his supporters have denied the authenticity of that video. But I think people should watch it by themselves. It should still be somewhere online.
I'm sure it is.
However, he has tried in the area of infrastructure and governance, but this is one
thing that just taints his whole. It doesn't look like it's ever going to go away.
Nah.
And right now, the Supreme Court, as of today, has dismissed the People's Democratic Party suit seeking to disqualify Senator Adetokunbo Abiru.
Yeah, this is a case that we followed from inception until today that the Supreme Court has made a pronouncement. A lower court had actually said the same thing earlier, but
they needed to go to the Supreme Court.
I salute the tenacity of the PDP's candidate for following through with the hope that they would at least get a judgment from the courts, which is a good thing for democracy.
At least now everybody's clear.
Be allowed.
Yeah.
But now what it just means is just puts a seal of authenticity on Senator Abiru's tenure. It shows that not only did he win an election, he deserves to be.
He deserves to be
senator.
The senator.
Lagos East.
Exactly. Now talking about the Senate. Now there's a lot of things that the Senate has done. The Senate has passed a supplementary budget of 982 billion naira for the 2021 fiscal year. This is as against the 895 billion naira president has asked for, and now they actually increased it by 87 billion naira.
Well, President Buhari seems to be having a good run with this current crop of senators and
House of Representatives.
And,
yeah,
to whom much is given, much is expected.
Much is expected. Yes.
Then again, I read somewhere that the supplementary budget is going to be geared towards security, and which is a good thing because
it's definitely needed. Now, also,
we need to go all out.
The Senate has also endorsed the request of the president to borrow 2.3 trillion naira to part finance the 2021 federal budget size of 13 trillion naira.
All right. Financial experts have told us that borrowing is not a bad thing. Some of us have been, personally too, we've been in a bind, and we've had to borrow funds to keep moving, either to just basically survive, which we advise against anyway. But what do you do in a situation like this? However, I think that Nigeria needs to grow based on Nigeria's potential that we've heard about for the past 62 years or so. Nigeria needs to grow to the point where you don't need to be borrowing
as much.
Yeah, you should be the one even
lending out money.
The potentials in this country there.
Yeah, and we hope that we get there one day.
Management now, proper management by the people at the local government, state and federal level.
All right, moving on from that, still talking about the House. There was news that broke yesterday evening after we left about the Speaker of the House of Representatives finally clarifying the issue of the Electoral Act of 2020, where he had come out to say that there was actually rumors all over that they had removed the clause of the electronic transmission of results, and they had come to say that this particular bill is still with the committee in charge, that it has not even been brought to the House. He has not even seen it, or has been brought to the floor of the House, and it has not even been discussed at all. So it's not possible for them to actually change anything. Anything that is not brought to the floor of the House cannot be changed, removed, or added to.
It's politics that's going on here in Nigeria, and I
think we really just need to calm down with the stories.
Politics. Again, people are always jumping on the bandwagon. People are always taking the headlines hook, line, and sinker without reading the body of the story. A few minutes ago, one of these online publications came with, a screaming headline. Jonathan dumps.
Yeah, I was going to go to that
APC
next.
Dumps PDP for APC. Jonathan, that's what they wrote there. There's a time, a few years ago, someone wrote something and put Obasanjo does something.
Yeah.
Something. These two stories, when you hear Jonathan, immediately your mind goes
to good luck Jonathan. Yeah.
Jonathan. When you hear Obasanjo, your mind goes to the former president. However, you find out that just people who bear
the same name. And talking about Jonathan,
that's irritating.
He's actually a House of Representatives member from Nasarawa State. Jonathan Gbefui Gaza has today decamped from People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. This is the 5th member of the PDP defecting to the APC in 2 days.
I think democracy is under threat. Now I understand what the PDP spokesman says. Every time he says democracy is under threat, because maybe he had seen the future and he knew it was going to get this bad.
Really.
At the rate that they're going, I think we would have no opposition in the house, and it's bad for democracy.
It's bad. I think it's actually very,
very bad for the future of this country, because you need a vibrant opposition.
You definitely need a vibrant opposition.
In the beginning, when Nigeria got independence, the great Obafemi Awolowo chose to be in opposition than form a unitary government. He was offered this number 2 post and other appointments, and he said no. We need a strong opposition. So he went into opposition, and that opposition led him to prison.
Wow. But at the end of the day, I think that we need, opposition is needed. We're reading about
what kind of opposition is PDP now? What are they doing exactly?
What are they doing? Talking about still talking about senators. Senators, as of today, talking with journalists in Abuja, has said that they've declared their total support for Governor Abdul Razak, describing him as the authentic leader of the All Progressives Congress in Kwara State. The senators had clarified that all the money, that the main reason for the issue between the governor and the Minister of Communication, the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, has said that all the money realized by the APC in the state to prosecute the 2019 elections were judicially utilized under the leadership of the governor, and that the minister was not speaking the minds of the party members. And when he said that the current administration the current government had entered one chance with the governor at the helms of affairs. He says that the lawmakers has also explained the revalidation of membership registration will soon start to enable those who had yet to register to do so before the state's party congress.
Yeah. When I saw the video of the Minister of Information, I was shocked. And again, back to what I was saying before we move to this story. What kind of opposition is PDP really offering the APC? By now, PDP Kwara should be enjoying the madness that's happening in the APC, and they should be playing it up.
But we've not even heard anything about them.
You see? But they're sleeping.
Talking about House of Assemblies,
okay.
Right. Sorry, we're just really almost out of time. As Katsina House of Assembly has put up a motion to convert viewing centers to Islamic schools.
Can you say that again, please?
A bill has been proposed by a lawmaker in Katsina State House of Assembly to convert viewing centers to Islamic schools.
Viewing centers, are they not privately owned? And when you say viewing centers, you mean places where people watch football?
Watch football, yes. He's claiming that Islamic education in the state has experienced several setbacks, mostly in rural areas, and there's need for prompt action to address the setbacks.
And the problem is
and we are supposed to be a secular state.
No, I'm not even going to fool
myself.
Wow. Let's not, you see, when are we going to stop fooling ourselves about this secular state stuff? Nigeria is not a secular state. Nigeria is a country that allows Muslims, Christians, and traditionalists to worship. So how are we fooling out? There's no secularity about Nigeria. Then, the angle that I really want to ask is, are these not privately owned businesses? The viewing centers.
How is that? How is it their business?
Are you blaming the football viewing centers for, let's be careful. Let's just be careful the way we go about pushing our religion. We should allow people to express themselves, Muslim, Christian, whatever. It's a free world. The Lord that created you created these other people too. So how are they going to do it? You're going to take over people's private businesses and convert them to religious centers? For real? In 2021?
I don't get it. I don't get how that's going to happen.
Right.
Well, finally, before we go, there's actually a protest going on as supporters of Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igboho, has taken to the streets of Ibadan, Oyo State capital, to protest the midnight raid by the DSS of the residents of Sunday Igboho. They gathered in front of Igboho's house, from where they took off around 12 noon today.
Well, it's an ongoing scenario and an ongoing situation Sunday Igboho is known for his activism in the area of fighting for a Yoruba nation. The DSS have confirmed that they did actually carry out this action. A lot of people have condemned it. Southern governors are saying, before you do that in our state next time, let us know. People are saying they don't have to, and now supporters of Sunday Igboho,
basically
have now taken to the streets.
The reason for this demonstration is that they want the killers of Adogon and Afar to be brought to book, that the government must pay the 500 million naira damages that was requested by Igboho's lawyer, and that they want the Obas to make this happen within 7 days.
You want the Obas. Constitutionally, what power does an Oba wield? This is where they get it wrong. You're fighting a good fight. You want compensation for Sunday Igboho, and you want people who have allegedly killed someone to be brought to book, which is also a good thing. But you're asking the Obas and giving them some, and after 7 days you're going to attack the Obas, or what are you going to do? At a point like this, my advice to the people who have done these protests is, good job, please stay safe, don't cause any problems, but use the courts. Use the courts.
So finally, before we
talked about the lawyer, let that lawyer do his job.
Let him do his job. Finally, before we go, a pastor and 2 others have been arrested. Why do I feel that this story of people calling people pastors, I'm not sure about it, but anyway, a so-called pastor and 2 others have been arrested by operatives of the Niger State Police Command for conspiracy and possession of 15.8